focus on identifying source materials as opposed to listening to the opinions or reading or watching the opinions of others expressed through other sources like media. These are the things that we believe in. First, that parents have the right to raise their children the way they want. Second, that those we elect to serve us in civil government must respect and defend our right of belief and freedom of religion. Number three, that the laws and policies of civil government must provide for the safety and security of the citizens, especially the vulnerable among us. And number four, that it is inappropriate to heap debt upon the backs of our children and future generations. They came from you. They're your pillars. Hi, this is Doug Sharpe, host of the National Leadership Briefing, and this is the Midweek Touchpoint. Well, here we are in the middle of an election, so I think that we definitely need to talk about that, but there's actually two things I wanted to chat with you about this week, if I may. First of all, let's start with the election, the fact that we are committed to ensuring that you have all of the information that you're going to require come election day so that you can make an informed choice as to which candidate represents your views and values, or is at least willing to represent your views and values when they are in fact in office. So we have provided you, of course, the E-Day Choice website, just to remind you that that exists and that it is online for you. You can find the voting records of the members of parliament that are currently running again for re-election. We also have a page that offers up questions for candidates that you can ask to just find a little bit more about your candidates' views on some of the things that we believe in here on the National Leadership Briefing. But there's also a citizen resource page that will provide you additional resources that you can use ongoingly. For example, we're going to be including on the citizen resource page something called the all candidate election event page. Now, this is, interestingly enough, just a description as to the best way that you can host all of the candidates at your church or for a special event in another building, and you can actually get all of the candidates to come down and meet either your church family or a group of people that you want to get together. But I think you're going to find this is an excellent way to have a very relaxed, come together meeting and have it non-confrontational and really give you an opportunity to get to know all of the candidates. So that template is there. We're also including on the citizen resource page something called Personal Network Survey. Now, this is a document that are just simply questions that you can ask people that are in your sphere of influence and to find out if they share your views and values. Now, of course, around election time, it's good to know who your allies are, people who agree with you on certain things. And if you find enough of them, then again, you can gather them together and you can get together and have a meeting with the candidates or the member of parliament that's offering their name up for re-election again. So those resources are on the E-Day Choice website under Citizen Resources, and they're all downloads there available for you to download at any time. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk with you about today, but there is something else that I've spoken about before but I wanted to put a bit of a finer point on it, especially now because there's an awful lot of talk about vaccine passports and vaccine mandates. Now, when you take a conversation about something like a medical issue or an issue that involves health, and you have that conversation during a 36-day election cycle, you are going to find that the potential for that issue to be politicized is going to be very high. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to carve out the noise from the issues like vaccine mandates and vaccine passports and get right down to the signal, because we want to make sure that as we make all of these decisions moving forward as to what we're hearing from politicians, it's really relevant to our decision as to who we're going to be voting for. So this is what my encouragement is going to be, is over the course of the election, my encouragement is going to be that you focus on identifying source materials as opposed to listening to the opinions or reading or watching the opinions of others expressed through other sources like media. Now, what happens is that there's an awful lot of great source material out there on the issue of vaccines and vaccine mandates, but you need to get through to it yourself. You're going to need to source it yourself. You're not going to have it handed to you through the nightly news, which is unfortunately during an election cycle where a lot of people turn for the day-to-day updates as to what's going on. So my encouragement is, again, if you're going to be discussing or making decisions based on things like healthcare, your own personal healthcare, and it's happening during an election, you just got to make sure that you're not getting pulled too far off base and away from source information into an arena where just opinion is being expressed. And it could be political opinion, which is actually one of the worst forms of opinion. So don't even take my word for it that I'm talking to you about this now today. Go out there and find it yourself. Now, if you're saying, Doug, I just don't know whatever sources there are out there, then why don't you plug in, ask your pastor, ask the people at your church, ask around and just find out, hey, what have you found as good sources of information? You can go straight to the source on the internet, and you definitely won't see it filtered through the lens of mainstream media like you would on a nightly news. So that's my encouragement for you today is, first of all, go check out those citizen resources on the eDay Choice website, because again, we want you to make the best choice possible on eDay as to who best represents your views and values locally. And the second thing is, try your hardest to get source information as opposed to just receiving information through the filter of the mainstream media. Well, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate very much being on this road with you and lending me your ear and giving me an opportunity to connect with you during this very complex time that is now even more complicated by the fact that we're having a federal election. So we're hoping that we will come out on the other side of it, and all the better for it. But in the meantime, God bless you, God bless your family, and may God continue to bless this great nation of Canada. Bye for now.